Good morning, room 2. I'm going to be doing a lesson to go with the week 3, day 5 chart that looks like this. Essential question and answers chart. We're at the end of our unit. In fact, we're at the end of our whole language arts program, you could say. So on this last page, we're going to reflect. We're going to think back on what we've been reading in this unit, and we're going to be writing about it. The big question we have here says, how would our lives be different without sound or light? How would our lives be different without sound or light? So first we have without sound, and our goal is to let's get 2 sentences that go along with how life would be different without sound. And then down below on our chart, it's without light. Let's try to come up with two things we could say explaining how life would be different without light. Okay? Now in this unit, we read stories about sound and light, shadow puppets. We read I Hear with My Ears, which was the rhyming story. Sounds I Love. This one was also rhyming, more of a poem, right? We also had our nonfiction selection on the light around us. So we want to use what we've learned in this unit to help us with our chart. I also am going to show you a brain pop, and the brain pop focuses on light, and I really like it because it gives us some good visuals and things to see that go along with what we learned in the unit. And I'd like to show that before we do our chart so that we can actually use some of that information too if we want. So here comes a brain pop, and again, this one just focuses on light. Okay. There's Moby.
Hey, who turned out the lights? Are you okay? What is light? Light is all around us, and we need it to see. All light has a source, or something it comes from. Some sources of light are natural, like the sun, other stars, lightning, and fire. The sun is our main source of light. Many living things need light to survive. Plants use light to make their own food. Some animals need sunlight to warm their bodies. Some living things can even make their own light, like fireflies, jellyfish, and even some kinds of mushrooms. We also have artificial light, which is made by humans, like light bulbs, neon signs, and televisions. People can also turn the sun's light into electricity. That's called solar power. Light is a kind of energy, like heat or sound, and it moves. How does light move? Light travels in one direction, and it travels very, very fast. When light hits an object, some of the light reflects or bounces off. Some of that light bounces back to your eye so you can see the object. The object also absorbs or takes in some of the light. The absorbed light doesn't bounce off. Shiny objects reflect more light than dull objects. When light hits a smooth, flat mirror, Most of it bounces off in the direction it came from so you can see your reflection. When light hits a curvy mirror, you see a funny reflection. Light can also pass through some things. What can light pass through? Light easily passes through transparent objects,
Okay, and
like glass.
transparent is the same as clear, like we had in our reading. Light easily passes through transparent or clear objects, like glass windows, she says.
Windows. You can see through clear, transparent objects. But you can't see through opaque objects. Very little light passes through them. Things cast shadows because they block the light. Sometimes light hits an object and it can't pass through. The object blocks the light and keeps it from going to the other side. So, you see a dark spot that's shaped like the object. You see a shadow. There are also objects that let only some light pass through. Well, stained glass windows let some light pass through. Right, Moby. Sunglasses block some light and let other light pass through. When light passes through things, it bends. But what happens when light bends? It's hot in here. I'm thirsty. Thanks, Moby. Cool, check it out. The straw isn't broken, Moby. When light passes through something, it refracts or changes direction, so it makes objects look different. Telescopes, binoculars, magnifying glasses, and microscopes all use refraction to make objects appear closer than they really are. Anyway, Moby, without light, we wouldn't be able to see anything. Ah! Moby!
Okay, so like she said, without light, we would not be able to see anything, right? Okay, so up at the top, this one was sound. So we need to be thinking about sound and how would our lives be different without sound? Okay, again, we want at least 2 examples of how life would be different if we couldn't hear anything. One thing is it wouldn't be as safe because we wouldn't be able to hear the sirens coming, like from an ambulance or police, right? We wouldn't be able to hear cars coming, and that could be dangerous for us. We wouldn't know to get out of the way. So we wouldn't be able to hear. And remember, when we do these charts, you don't need the same exact words as I'm putting down. This is just to help you out with ideas. We wouldn't be able to hear sirens and cars. Okay, so that's the first one I'm putting for without sound. So those are sounds that we want to hear to keep safe. But how about those beautiful sounds? Without sound, we wouldn't be able to hear music, the birds and other animals making their noises outside, waves splashing at the beach. So we wouldn't be able to hear the pretty sounds that are out in nature. We couldn't enjoy those sounds that help make us feel good. We couldn't enjoy sounds like, I'm gonna write about, I love the sounds of the birds chirping in the morning. I'm gonna say, we couldn't enjoy sounds like birds chirping or actually I should say, I'm going to use the word singing, birds singing. Couldn't enjoy like birds singing and music. Oh, I love music. We couldn't enjoy sounds like birds singing and music. Those are some examples. And then we're going to be moving on to light. So now we got a little bit more information from the brain pop. It also talked about a lot of the same things we read about, right? Without light, how would our lives be different? Okay. We wouldn't be able to see. Something you wouldn't be able to see would be your friends and family. That would make life very different. Wouldn't be able to see friends and family. We wouldn't be able to see all kinds of beautiful things like rainbows, sun shining, the flowers. Now, in the clip also, it talked about shadow puppets. What do you need to make shadow puppets? Well, you need a solid figure, and you need to shine a light on it to be able to make that shadow. So we couldn't make shadow puppets. But we couldn't make shadow puppets. Lots of other ways our lives would be different without sound and light, but we are putting down just a few examples. Okay, and that is the end of our sound and light unit for language arts. I'm also going to be doing a lesson to go with the grammar. I'm going to be posting that also. So the next page in your packet, week 3, day 5, I'm going to be going over that one in a separate video. Okay, talk to you very soon.